Hi, I'm John Edlund. I teach rhetoric and writing in the Department of English and Foreign Languages at Cal Poly Pomona. I also chair the original task force that developed the Expository Reading and Writing course, also known as ERWC, for the California State University, starting back in 2003. In this video, I'm going to talk about the 7 principles behind ERWC. Let's look at Principle 1. The integration of interactive reading and writing processes. Think about your own experiences as a student and as a teacher. How often did writing assignments grow directly out of reading? How often were writing assignments disconnected from context, audience, and purpose? In ERWC, reading and writing are two sides of the same coin. Students read while attending to ideas, words, arguments, evidence, and rhetorical strategies. When they begin working with the writing assignment, they revisit the texts, looking for ways to use them in their own writing. When they write, they use material from the texts for their own purposes. These are the basic moves of academic reading and writing. Principle 2. A rhetorical approach that fosters critical thinking and engagement through a relentless focus on the text. You might be asking, what is a rhetorical approach? And what do we mean by a relentless focus on the text? The 3 persuasive appeals from Aristotle's rhetoric, ethos, logos, and pathos, are key concepts in ERWC. Students analyze the ways in which writers present themselves to readers, the arguments they make, the evidence they present, and the emotional effects they create in the audience. They also use these concepts in their own writing. By relentless focus on the text, we mean that every exercise in an ERWC module is connected directly to the texts under study. Discussions are about issues in the text. Vocabulary exercises are about words from the texts in the contexts of the texts. Grammar exercises use sentences from the texts. Every exercise contributes to the understanding and use of the text at hand. Principle 3. Materials and themes that engage student interest. How do we choose the right issues? How do we choose the right text? There's probably more art than science to choosing issues and texts around which to build an ERWC module. We try to find issues that connect with the life world of a student, but are also important to the adults around them. The issues should be debatable and multidimensional, in that a variety of positions and perspectives could be taken by reasonable people. The texts should be readable, engaging, and well written, but sufficiently challenging. Most important of all, the issue should be one in which students are stakeholders who should have a voice in the conversation. Principle 4. Classroom activities designed to model and foster successful practices of fluent readers and writers. What do fluent academic readers and writers do? How can we pass these skills on to students? When we began working on ERWC, we realized that as teachers we had acquired practices and habits of mind that made us fluent academic readers and writers. We knew about bibliographies, indexes, tables of contents. We knew how to figure out what was probably in a book without reading much of it. We knew how to find things in texts. We knew how to learn about words. We could sense where a writer was coming from and what sort of stance he or she was taking toward the material. We asked ourselves, what are these skills? How did we get them? And how can we pass them on to our students? That was the inspiration for a lot of ERWC right there. Principle 5. Research-based methodologies with a consistent relationship between theory and practice. What actually works in teaching reading and writing? And how do we know? Theory and research help us predict what classroom activities will create real learning. A sound theory will also help us create an integrated series of lessons and activities that will build knowledge and skills over time. A lesson that works is one that creates demonstrable learning. The research that guided our work in ERWC is summarized in the Theoretical Foundations document, which has turned out to be an important resource for teachers who want a deeper understanding of ERWC and a starting place for grad students who want to do more research. Principle 6. Built-in flexibility to allow teachers to respond to varied students' needs and instructional contexts. Is ERWC a scripted program? Do teachers have real choices? Sometimes teachers unfamiliar with ERWC open up a binder, see all of the cells, and say, "Oh no, another scripted curriculum." Actually, ERWC is anything but scripted. The developers were all teachers who understood very well that students are all different, classes are different, needs are different, pacing sometimes has to be different. Teachers have to make decisions and take all of these factors into consideration. Activities can be implemented or not. Alternative activities can be substituted. Such choices should be based on formative assessments, many of which are provided in the modules. Finally, Principle 7, alignment with California Common Core State Standards for English Language Arts and Literacy. Is ERWC really aligned with Common Core? And what does that mean? The ERWC curriculum aligns with many Common Core state standards, notably standards related to evidence, argument, and rhetoric. The specific standards addressed by ERWC are indicated in the left-hand column of the assignment template and in the teacher version of every module. We discovered after the California state standards were adopted that the Common Core developers knew about ERWC and had copies of our binders. In fact, they remarked about the natural fit between the ERWC and Common Core. ERWC is an integrated reading and writing curriculum designed to inculcate in high school students the strategies, abilities, and habits of mind of fluent academic readers and writers through rhetorical analysis of issues and texts that are interesting to these students. It is aligned with Common Core state standards. It allows considerable flexibility for teachers to make pedagogical decisions based on provided formative assessments. Educational research and assessments of the program itself have shown that the methods used in ERWC are effective in increasing reading and writing ability and college readiness, while also being engaging for students. Although times and standards have changed and ERWC has undergone substantial revisions based on feedback from teachers, the 7 principles described in this video have served us well over the past 10 years. As you work through the modules in the course, you will find examples of these principles everywhere. We still use them in designing new curriculum, and you will probably find them useful in designing and teaching your own modules. Thanks for watching, and good teaching.